Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Nabhanita Adhikari with the evening news. The headlines. 7th edition of Raisina Dialogue begins today in New Delhi. EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen asserts strengthening partnership with India as a priority in the upcoming decade. Prime Minister Modi and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen review progress in the vibrant India-EU strategic partnership. Information and Broadcasting Ministry blocks 10 Indian and 6 Pakistan-based YouTube channels for spreading disinformation related to the country's national security, foreign relations and public order. Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar to inaugurate week-long Kisan Bhagidari Prathmikta Hamari campaign tomorrow. The first edition of the Naval Commanders Conference of 2022 gets underway in New Delhi. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to address the event. Maharashtra government urges Centre to come up with uniform rules regarding the use of loudspeakers in religious places. Russia's Defence Ministry announces ceasefire around the Azovstal steel plant in Mariupol to provide safe human evacuation corridor. The 24th Summer Deaflympics to be held in Brazil's Caxias do Sul from 1st to 15th of May. In Santosh Trophy Football Championship, Services defeated Odisha by 2-0 at Kotapadi Stadium in Malappuram, Kerala. And in IPL cricket, match between Punjab Kings and Chennai Super Kings underway in Mumbai. President of the European Commission Ursula von der Leyen today said that India and the European Union share fundamental values and common interests as vibrant democracies. Giving the keynote address at the inaugural session of the 7th edition of Raisina Dialogue, which got underway in New Delhi this evening, Ms. Leyen said, India and EU believe in each country's right to determine its own destiny, in rule of law and fundamental rights. She said they believe that it is democracy that best delivers for citizens. Ms. Leyen said that every 5 years when Indians cast their vote in parliamentary elections, the world watches with admiration as the world's largest democracy charts its future path because the outcome of decisions made by 1.3 billion people resonates around the globe. She stressed that for the European Union, strengthening and energizing its partnership with India is a priority in the upcoming decade.
Democracy was born more than 2,000 years ago in Europe, but today its largest home is India. For the European Union, strengthening and energizing its partnership with India is a priority in this upcoming decade. Both our economies thrive in a world of common rules and fair competition. And we share the same interests in safe trading routes, in seamless supply chains, and in a free and open Indo-Pacific. Both our regions are driving forces in the digital revolution, and this makes us natural partners in setting global standards.
She added that both economies thrive in a world of common rules and fair competition. She stated that EU sees Russia's aggression as a direct threat to security. She said EU will make sure that unprovoked and unjustified aggression against Ukraine will be a strategic failure. She said they are doing all they can to help Ukraine fight for its freedom. Ms. Leyen stressed that response to Russia's aggression today will decide the future of both the international system and the global economy. The EC President expressed happiness at the launch of India-EU Trade and Technology Council, which will facilitate collaboration on expanded trade, technology and security. Proposing the vote of thanks at the inaugural session of Raisina Dialogue, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said EU has already articulated an Indo-Pacific and connectivity strategy. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other dignitaries were present at the inaugural session of the Raisina Dialogue. Several former Prime Ministers of different countries and other dignitaries are also participating in the event. The three-day dialogue is based on the theme Terra Nova, Impassioned, Impatient, Imperiled. There are 6 broad thematic pillars of the dialogue, including rethinking democracy, end of multilateralism, water caucuses, achieving green transitions, Raisina Dialogue will have around 100 sessions with over 210 speakers from 90 countries. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held talks with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen in New Delhi today. Both leaders reviewed progress in the vibrant India-EU strategic partnership. The Prime Minister said that Ursula von der Leyen's visit will deepen cooperation in areas of trade, climate, digital technology and people-to-people ties.
भारत का और यूरोपीय काउंसिल के साथ पिछले दिनों हमारी वर्चुअल समिट का मौका मिला था इंडिया यू का, लेकिन मैं आशा करता हूं कि बहुत ही जल्द हम फिर से रूबरू मिल करके बहुत ही निकट संवाद करेंगे। मुझे खुशी है कि हमारे विदेश मंत्री जब आए थे आपने बहुत ही अच्छी मीटिंग ऑर्गेनाइज की और भारत के साथ चर्चा करने का एक अच्छा अवसर आपने दिया था और इसलिए भी मैं समझता हूं कि आपके नेतृत्व में भारत और यूरोप के संबंधों एक नई ऊंचाई मिल रही है, संपर्कों के नए क्षेत्र खुल रहे हैं और ये हमारा सहयोग और अधिक हमारे संबंधों को आगे बढ़ाएगा।
The European Commission President said as large and vibrant democratic societies, India and Europe share similar values and a commonality of perspectives on many global issues.
We are a vibrant democracy. We are strong supporters of the international rules-based order. We are large economies. And the European Union has only one trade and technology council in place, and that is with the United States. And I think, therefore, it is telling that it was so important for us to put up a second trade and technology council with India.
They reviewed the progress in the India-EU strategic partnership, including the forthcoming recommencement of negotiations on a free trade agreement and investment agreement. It was agreed to institute a high-level trade and technology commission to provide political-level oversight of all aspects of the India-EU relationship and to ensure coordination between different areas of cooperation. Prime Minister Modi and Ms. Leyen announced the establishment of an India-EU Trade and Technology Council. This new mechanism will bring about high-level coordination on the intersecting aspects of trade, technology and security and provide the political steer needed for in-depth strategic engagement. Both leaders noted the increasing policy convergences on Indo-Pacific and exchanged views on other regional and global issues of mutual interest, including cooperation in WTO, G20, Afghanistan and Myanmar. They expressed concern on the humanitarian situation in Ukraine and called for an immediate end to violence. The President of the European Commission called on President Ramnath Kovind at Rashtrapati Bhavan this evening. Both leaders discussed broadening of India-EU partnership in political and strategic areas as well as trade, economy, climate, sustainability and digital connectivity.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar today discussed trade, connectivity, culture and training cooperation with his Armenian counterpart Ararat Mirzoyan in Delhi. They also exchanged views on current regional and international issues. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address a program to mark the 90th anniversary of Shivagiri pilgrimage and Golden Jubilee of Brahma Vidyalay in Kerala tomorrow. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said he is extremely proud of the monumental contribution of the Shivagiri Mutt in different fields. He added that they have popularized the teachings of Sri Narayan Guru and done great work in healthcare, education and service. The Information and Broadcasting Ministry has blocked 16 YouTube news channels for spreading disinformation related to country's national security, foreign relations and public order. 10 Indian and 6 Pakistan-based YouTube channels have been blocked under Information Technology Rules 2021. The ministry said these YouTube channels were spreading false, unverified information to create panic, incite communal disharmony and disturb public order in the country. These YouTube channels have a cumulative viewership of over 68 crore.
Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Minister Narendra Singh Tomar will inaugurate Kisan Bhagidari Prathmikta Hamari campaign tomorrow. The week-long campaign is being organized from today under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare, in association with other ministries, will organize activities for creating awareness and publicity among a large number of farmers across the country about the schemes and programs of it and other allied ministries. As part of the campaign, a day-long Kisan Mela will be organized at all Krishi Vigyan Kendras across the country tomorrow in association with Agricultural Technology Management Agency ATMA. Agricultural and Processed Food Product Export Development Authority APIDA, in association with the India Trade Promotion Organization, is organizing Asia's biggest international food and hospitality fair, AHAR 2022, at Pragati Maidan in New Delhi. The fair will commence from tomorrow.
The first edition of 4-day Naval Commanders Conference commenced today in the newly set up state-of-the-art facility at Defence Officers Complex at Africa Avenue in New Delhi. Operational and area commanders of the Indian Navy are participating in the conference to review major operational, material, logistics, human resource development, training and administrative activities. The conference will focus on addressing the contemporary security paradigms while seeking ways to enhance combat capabilities of Navy and make operations more effective and efficient. A detailed review of the performance of weapons and sensors, ongoing naval projects with focus on ways to enhance indigenation through Make in India will be undertaken by the commanders. The conference would also dwell upon dynamics of geostrategic situation of the region in the backdrop of recent international developments. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to address the event. Defence Acquisition Procedure 2020 has been amended to promote Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat in defence. Defence Ministry said in a release that all modernisation requirements of the three services and Indian Coast Guard will be indigenously sourced irrespective of nature of procurement. The requirement of integrity-packed bank guarantee has been dispensed with to reduce financial burden on domestic industry.
Chemicals and Fertilizers Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia has said that healthcare sector in the country is becoming affordable and accessible for everyone due to the relentless efforts of the government. He said the government is working relentlessly to ramp up the health infrastructure, including hospital, tertiary care centers, health and wellness centers in the country. He said efforts have been made to increase the number of doctors in medical institutions. Dr. Mandavia today inaugurated the 7th edition of International Conference on Pharma and Medical Devices sector in New Delhi, congratulating the pharma industry of the country in ensuring the country's successful fight against COVID-19. The Union Minister said the way India has managed the pandemic is a global case study. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has asked people to take part in 2 quizzes based on yesterday's Mann Ki Baat on the Namo app. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said one of them is about the entire program and the second one is on different museums of India.
Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla has expressed confidence that the construction work of the new Parliament building would be completed soon and the next winter session would be held in the new Parliament House. He said the new Parliament building will realize the hopes and aspirations of New India of the 21st century. Indian Railways has intensified its efforts to transport coal to power plants across the country. Railways has deployed additional rakes for the transportation of coal. Railways has ramped up the coal transportation, resulting in 32% more coal freight loading between September 2021 to March 2022. The Railway Ministry said there has also been an increase in 10% freight by efficiently mobilizing resources. You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. 7th edition of Raisina Dialogue begins today in New Delhi. EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen asserts strengthening partnership with India is a priority in the upcoming decade. Prime Minister Modi and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen review progress in the vibrant India-EU strategic partnership. Information and Broadcasting Ministry blocks 10 Indian and 6 Pakistan-based YouTube channels for spreading disinformation related to country's national security, foreign relations and public order. Union Agriculture Minister Narendra to inaugurate week-long Kisan Bhagidari Prathamikta Hamari campaign tomorrow. The first edition of the Naval Commanders Conference of 2022 gets underway in New Delhi. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to address the event. Maharashtra government urges Centre to come up with uniform rules regarding the use of loudspeakers in religious places. Russia's Defence Ministry announces ceasefire around Azovstal steel plant in Mariupol to provide safe human evacuation corridor. The 24th Summer Deaf Olympics to be held in Brazil's Caxias do Sol from 1st to 15th of May. In Santosh Trophy Football Championship, Services defeated Odisha by 2-0 at Kottapaddy Stadium in Malappuram, Kerala. And in IPL cricket, match between Punjab Kings and Chennai Super Kings is underway in Mumbai. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
कंपटीशन की अगर आप कर रहे हैं तैयारी तो उनके लिए ऑल इंडिया रेडियो पर हम लाए हैं अभ्यास, एक ऐसा कार्यक्रम जिसमें आप पूछेंगे सवाल व्हाट्सएप नंबर 9289094044 पर या फिर ईमेल करेंगे abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर और हमारे विशेषज्ञ देंगे इसका जवाब। इस बार का विषय है सोशियोलॉजी। सवाल भेजने की अंतिम तारीख है 27 अप्रैल। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर
8700014242।
Welcome back to the evening news. Maharashtra government has urged the centre to come up with uniform rules regarding the use of loudspeakers in religious places. Addressing a press conference following an all-party meeting in Mumbai today, State Home Minister Dilip Walse Patil said such situations will not arise in any state if the centre puts in place standard guidelines. Mr. Patil said the state government had issued several guidelines between 2015 and 2017 in view of the 2005 decision of the Supreme Court on noise pollution. Citing that loudspeakers are also used during Ganesh Utsav, Navratri and even for daily prayers in many of the villages in Maharashtra, Mr. Patil said such rules cannot be implemented just for one community and will have to be followed by one and all. The Bombay High Court today refused to quash the FIR registered against Amravati MP Navneet Rana and her husband MLA Ravi Rana for allegedly resisting arrest in connection with the recital of Hanuman Chalisa outside Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray's private residence in Mumbai. On Saturday, the Khar police had booked the couple under various sections of the IPC dealing with sedition and promoting enmity between groups, besides some provisions of the Bombay Police Act dealing with disruption of law and order situation in the city.
Russia's Defence Ministry today announced a ceasefire around Azovstal steel plant in Mariupol to allow a civilian evacuation from the industrial area that has been sheltering the remaining Ukrainian resistance in the port city. The Defence Ministry said in a statement Russian troops will unilaterally stop any hostilities, withdraw units to a safe distance and ensure the withdrawal of civilians from 1400 hours Moscow time today. It said the civilians will be taken in any direction they have chosen. Khelo India University Games saw some stellar performance by the budding athletes today. Shiva Sridhar, the swimmer from Jain University in Bengaluru, won gold medal in the 200-meter medley event by setting the meet record of 2:05.43 minutes. Srihari Natraj from Jain University won gold in the 50-meter freestyle in a time of 23.23 seconds, breaking the record set by Mihir Amre in the first edition of the Games held in Bhubaneswar. There were 10 medals up for grabs in swimming today.
And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
सूरज दी कुखों जाइयां धुप्पां ने ठरना नहीं सतलुज दे पानी विचों गैरत ने मरना नहीं सतलुज दे पानी विचों ओ गैरत ने मरना नहीं.
On 25th of April 1809, the Treaty of Amritsar was signed between the British East India Company and the legendary Sikh leader Maharaja Ranjit Singh.
Maharaja Ranjit Singh proclaimed himself Maharaja of the Punjab in 1801. By 1808, he had expanded his kingdom to an area bounded by Gujarat, Ludhiana and Multan. With Ranjit Singh's plans to extend his control over Malwa on the south side of the Satluj River, the chiefs in the area appealed to the British for protection.
जंगा दे जेतू होके सिखे ए हरना नहीं सूरज दी कुखों जाइयां धुप्पां ने ठरना नहीं सतलुज दे पानी विचों गैरत ने मरना नहीं.
At the same time, the British also wanted a defensive treaty to contain Punjab to the Satluj River. Thus, the pact was concluded between Charles T. Metcalfe, representing the British East India Company, and Maharaja Ranjit Singh, and it settled Indo-Sikh relations for a generation.
We also remember tribal freedom fighter Sumari Munda, who was martyred on the 25th of April 1939. Sumari belonged to Gangpur state, now in Odisha. He joined the protest against the unlawful imposition of the levy on tribal people by the Gangpur state under the leadership of tribal leader Nirmal Munda.
He also joined around 3,000 people at Simcoe Ground when Nirmal Munda went to meet the Rani of Gangpur state to discuss the matter of levy on the 25th of April 1939. However, the police started firing on the peaceful protest, and in the firing Sumari Munda was killed along with many tribals. We salute the great martyrs.
We also remember martyr Chirai Naga, who was hanged for killing British officers at Mayankang, Manipur. On the 25th of April 1891, a column of Manipur troops under the leadership of Ashang Kutpolia came to Mayankang after executing 5 Britishers at Kangla. When the Manipuri troops reached Mayankang, they were informed by the villagers that 2 British officers of the Telegraph Department were staying in the Mayankang rest house. The Manipuris fired shots, killing O'Brien instantly.
However, W.B. Melville escaped with his rifle under the cover of darkness. A big search was carried out in the nearby jungle, and Chirai Naga found W.B. Melville beside a stream, and he killed him. Chirai Naga was later arrested, tried, and hanged on the 13th of October 1891 by the British. We salute the great martyr.
We also remember martyr Sajid Ali Khan, who took part in the First War of Indian Independence in 1857. A resident of Moradabad, Uttar Pradesh, Khan directed the pro-independence activities in Moradabad and provided financial support for them. He was captured by the British during their reoccupation of the Moradabad region on the 25th of April 1858 and was executed by hanging on the 27th of April 1858. We salute the great son of the soil.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
FSSAI has launched Food Safety Connect app for food business operators and consumers. Download this app from Google Play Store and easily apply for FSSAI registration. Consumers can use this app to register food-related complaints. The 24th Summer Deaflympics will be held in Brazil's Caxias do Sul from the 1st to the 15th of May. In all, 39 men and 26 women have been selected to represent India along with 12 coaches, 8 support staff and 12 officials. Speaking to media in the send-off ceremony for Deaflympics-bound athletes, Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Anurag Thakur expressed hope that the athletes will bring laurels to India.
ब्राजील जो डेफ ओलंपिक्स का भारत का कंटिंजेंट जा रहा है वो आज तक का सबसे बड़ा 65 खिलाड़ी हैं, 17 कोचेस हैं, 11 ऑफिशियल्स हैं और भारत सरकार ने भी अपनी ओर से टीम की ट्रेनिंग, कोचिंग, बोर्डिंग, लॉजिंग, किट्स, बाकी फैसिलिटीज देने का हर संभव प्रयास किया। 30 दिन का कैंप 5 स्थानों पर लगाने का, खिलाड़ियों को सुविधाएं देने का प्रयास किया और मुझे पूर्ण विश्वास है जो पहले टर्की में 5 मेडल हमारी डेफ ओलंपिक्स में आए इस बार उससे बहुत ज्यादा आएंगे।
President of Paralympic Committee of India, Deepa Malik, extended her best wishes to the athletes who will participate in the Deaflympics.
In Santosh Trophy Football Championship, Services defeated Odisha by 2-0 at Kottapalli Stadium in Malappuram, Kerala. The second match between Gujarat and Karnataka is underway at Pioneer Stadium in Manjeri. In IPL cricket, Punjab Kings were 136 for 1 in 16 overs against Chennai Super Kings at Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai when the reports last came in. Earlier, the CSK skipper won the toss and elected to field first.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. National capital Delhi will have partly or mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature will be around 27 degrees Celsius while the maximum is expected to be around 42 degrees. Mumbai will have mainly clear sky. The minimum temperature will be 27 degrees. Maximum is expected to be around 37 degrees. Chennai is likely to have partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature will be 27 and maximum expected to be around 35. Kolkata will have mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature will be 28. Maximum around 39. Srinagar will have mainly clear sky. Jammu expected to have mainly clear sky too. Leh will have partly cloudy sky. Gilgit will have partly cloudy sky too, while Muzaffarabad will have mainly clear sky. Guwahati will have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Imphal is expected to have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. Shillong will have generally cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. The temperature will hover between 16 and 28 degrees. Aizawl is expected to have generally cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. 7th edition of Raisina Dialogue begins today in New Delhi. EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen asserts strengthening partnership with India is a priority in the upcoming decade. Prime Minister Modi and European Commission President review progress in the vibrant India-EU strategic partnership. INB Ministry blocks 10 Indian and 6 Pakistan-based YouTube channels for spreading disinformation related to countries' national security, foreign relations and public order. Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar to inaugurate week-long Kisan Bhagidari Prathmikta Hamari campaign tomorrow. The first edition of Naval Commanders Conference of 2022 gets underway in New Delhi. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to address the event. Maharashtra government urges centre to come up with uniform rules regarding use of loudspeakers in religious places. Russia's Defense Ministry announces ceasefire around the Azovstal steel plant in Mariupol to provide safe human evacuation corridor. 24th Summer Deaf Olympics to be held in Brazil's Caxias do Sul from 1st to 15th of May. In Santosh Trophy Football Championship, Services defeated Odisha by 2-0 at Kottapadi Stadium in Malappuram, Kerala. And in IPL cricket, match between Punjab Kings and Chennai Super Kings is underway in Mumbai. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. With that, we end the evening news. Good night.